Yeah.
You know, back in the 70s, he was a feller. He was a man's man, old Bruce Jenner.
Oh yeah.
He got hooked up with him. Next thing you know, he'd cutting his stuff off.
This week on Pop's Culture, Pops addresses the big issues facing our society. Things like what's going on between Drake and Kendrick Lamar, commentary on the Kardashians, Gen Z vocabulary, and laugh along with us as Pops does his best to explain AI to the world. Stay tuned in for this week's episode of Pop's Culture.
This is episode 1 of Pop's Culture.
Hey.
It's Pops. So, we want to take some really important things that are going on in the world and just kind of get your commentary on it. 'Cause I feel like you have a pretty unique perspective on stuff.
Alright.
First of all, where do you get most of your news from?
My wife.
She keeps you up to date on current events.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when she ain't asleep or eating, she's on that cell phone keeping up with the world.
So basically, she's like every other person in the world. Well,
No, she's all by herself. That's why I love her.
That's right. I'm going to ask you some questions about things that are going on in the world, and basically just get your opinion about it. None of these questions I've asked you before, right? So these are all brand new to you.
I reckon.
So,
You're not asking for money like you did when you was a kid, so we good.
We've only got really 2 rules here. I know it's kind of warm, ain't it?
No, it got hot on this leg.
I've only got 2 rules.
All right.
You can't ask any clarifying questions.
What does that mean?
So, like, if whatever question I ask you, even if you don't know what I'm talking about, you got to give your commentary on it.
Well, I can do that.
Context.
I know everything.
There you go. And
Or I'll make you think I do.
There you go. And the only other thing is you can't just not answer a question because you don't know anything about it. If you don't know, you got to make something up.
I can do that.
All right, perfect. So, my first question is the question everybody wants to know.
All right.
Are you Team Drake or you Team Lamar?
Team Drake or Team Lamar?
Yep.
Who they play for?
Well, they're not. Believe it or not, they're actually not. They're not athletes.
Well, why would they be on a team?
Okay, I get it.
Now,
So,
Drake. Who's Drake?
I'll give you a little.
No,
bit
wait. Who's the other feller?
Or Lamar?
Lamar.
Drake or Lamar?
Well, are they having issues?
Yeah. So they got beef between them. So I'll give you a little bit of context.
All right.
So Drake and Lamar are both musicians. They're both artists.
Okay.
So if you had to pick which side you were on, who are you really siding more with?
Well, the one that's right.
Which one is that?
Well, we're going to have to figure out what the problem is, start with.
Okay. So
All right.
So knowing
Now,
everything that you know about their beef, what would you say is the primary issue?
well, I don't know about their issue, but I believe they just sat down and had a big old thick steak and eat together.
Uh-huh.
If they didn't work out, hey, food fixes anything.
So that's why me and you ain't got no problems, right?
Exactly. I love everybody that sit down and eat with me,
There you go.
especially if I ain't got to do the cooking.
Well, there you go. So I'll give you a little more context.
All right.
Drake and obviously I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. You know.
Right, absolutely.
But
Now, any of them ever played with George Jones?
I don't know that for sure, but I'm gonna guess probably not. Supposedly there's some clamoring about Drake and him not being necessarily a great guy, doing some things that are pretty frowned upon.
Well, you know, if you stop and think about it, everybody does that. Has got things that somebody ain't gonna like.
Yeah.
So why let that stuff like that upset a friendship? Let that stuff go. It don't matter.
So what if I told you some of the stuff that Drake did was like really, really, really bad?
Well, how bad could it be? Did he shoot the other feller's mama or something?
Maybe even worse than that.
Really?
Yeah.
What gets worse than that?
Uh,
It has something to do with the other feller's old lady?
no.
Okay.
Youngins.
Youngins. Well, some of the other feller's youngins Drake's?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Maybe.
Well,
You know, some of the stuff that goes on in the dark spots of Hollywood, you know what I mean?
oh.
Yeah.
He was looking at kid parts he ought not been looking
There
at.
you go.
Well, now,
That changes the game.
that changes the whole thing.
There you
You let somebody, I don't care how old or how young they are, look at one of my granddaughters that way.
Yeah.
I'd beat the eyes right out of their skull.
Well, rightfully so.
Absolutely.
Rightfully so.
Well, they just need to fire Drake.
There you go. Yeah. Well, it's
Now, who's the other feller?
Lamar.
Okay.
So I guess based off of that, you're probably Team Lamar.
Well, sure.
All right.
Did he do something like that too?
Well, I mean, I don't know that Drake did. I don't know that either one of them actually did it.
Okay, if nobody actually knows, what's the problem?
Well, I mean, I think when you have people, especially in public spotlight, right?
Right.
And you have this sort of social thing looming over your head, and then in the music industry, you're always looking to kind of set yourself apart from other people, right?
Well, sure. That's how you get rich.
There you go. And I think maybe Lamar kind of took something that was maybe just a rumor, an accusation, and he kind of ran with it. He's written a lot of songs that really sort of diss Drake, you know, and then Drake comes back and he does his dissing of Lamar. And where the social part of this really comes into play is Drake ended up suing Lamar's record label, who is ironically also Drake's record label. So he sued his own record label over, you know, some songs that he wrote that Drake felt like took shots at him.
Okay.
You know?
Now, I can straighten every bit of this out.
All right.
If you don't know for sure, keep your mouth shut till you figure it out.
There you go.
I mean, that's plain and simple. You don't start rumors about somebody. That's what we did in the second grade.
There you go. So you just saying
So
just need to
these
grow
grown men, grow up. My goodness, life's too short to squabble.
There you go. I agree with you.
I know about squabbling. I've had some old ladies that enjoyed it.
Oof.
Had
Yeah.
some.
You hear?
What?
Drake's from Canada. Yeah.
Well, there you go. He's a foreigner. I bet he even talks funny. Hey?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
There you go. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to another topic.
We need to get Lamar and Drake fixed.
Well, I don't.
They
know
just gonna, why can we not all just get along?
Yeah.
They all making money. They all famous. What's the problem?
Yeah.
Just cause one fella got one more song than you, I don't. Be happy for him. They ought to be friends.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think everybody agrees.
You know, when my neighbor does good, I'm happy for him.
There you go. Well, I think everybody will agree with you on that. I think
Well, sure.
You know, it's easy for us to look at things from a different perspective because we're not famous and we ain't got millions and millions of people looking at us just yet.
Right. But even if I did, I would want to be an example to everybody. Right. Don't fuss and fight just because somebody got a little more than you.
There you go.
That's plumb silly. You know, a fella be surprised at how little he can get by with and be happy.
Yeah.
I got a little old bitty house in the woods. I got an old truck we paid for. But I got something that most people never find.
What's that?
I'm happy, and money can't buy it.
Yeah.
Fame can't buy it. I've tried all that, and I was miserable. Wanted to be famous. You know, the more fame you got, the more money you got, there's more people out there trying to get it. If you ain't got nothing, they don't want you.
Well, I mean, that's true, though. I mean, that's
But I'm happy as a fat pig in mud.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't know that me and you are going to be able to necessarily solve all of Drake and Lamar's problems. So
They just don't want to listen.
yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right. So tell you what we're going to do. We're gonna move on to the next question.
All right.
So, all right. What Kardashian do you think that you most sort of feel like your personality lines up with?
Now, I don't really know them gals, but I've heard of them.
Yeah.
You know, back in the 70s, there was a fella, he was a man's man, old Bruce Jenner.
Oh, yeah.
He got hooked up with him. Next thing you know, he'd cutting his stuff off. Why would I want to be part of that? I mean, man's man, then decide, I want to be a catcher, not a pitcher. Now, why would I want to be any part of anything like that?
Okay. I agree.
And why are they famous? Can't nary one of them sing. They don't dance. And every one of them got a butt like a $40 mule. Every one of them about 2 wax handles wide.
Maybe that's why they're famous.
Well, all righty then. I tell you what, I got an ex-wife that'd fit right in there with them. Now, I don't gal could pull a metal buster with the best of them. You know who I'm talking about.
I do. We're not
but we ain't gonna call no names.
Call any names, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
And had feet like you wouldn't believe. She could stomp out a brush fire.
All right. So, all right, we're getting off track there.
Okay,
So
I don't want to be no Kardashian, but I guess if I had to be one, the only ones I know was Kim and Chloe, and I know there's a whole bunch of them, but I don't know all their names.
All right. So,
Don't want to be Kim, that's for sure.
okay.
She's been with everybody in the music business.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, I seen a thing on something here the other day. Showed her walking around with some little old sandals on, them feet swelled up. You know what that's from. Keep them in the air too long.
Oh my gosh. That's good. That'll do
Every
it
time. Every time.
Well, okay. So you don't want to be a Kardashian, and you obviously don't want to be a Jenner. I'm assuming.
No. Well, now old Bruce, before he cut his junk off, he got some kids. He got a couple of them, pretty good. You know, he got a pretty little old girl. I don't know what she's like, never met her, but she's cute, and she talks like she got a little sense.
There you go. So she's actually a model. She's a model, but she's also the youngest billionaire.
She's a billionaire?
Yeah, she is a billionaire.
Okay, explain something.
Okay.
How'd she become a billionaire? Because she can't sing.
So she actually became a billionaire because she started a makeup line, her own makeup line.
Well, now, hold on right there. I had a makeup line in school. And every time I'd make something up, I got in trouble. Nobody ever paid me for it.
Well, I think it's a... All right. So...
Wrong answer?
No, there are no wrong answers here.
Well, give me a minute, I will. Just ask my wife.
I hear you.
I stay in the doghouse so much with her. When company comes up, I don't know whether to sniff their butt or shake their hands.
Well, all right. So you were asking about becoming a billionaire there. So the thing about it, you know, I know those girls or whatever, they get a lot of flack about not having any talent or why are they famous and this and that. You know, you're talking about Kylie Jenner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she is. Like I said, she's the youngest, one of the youngest billionaires in the United States. I think she was a billionaire before she was 22 years old.
Wow.
And she, like, legit, she started her own makeup company, and she, you know, I mean, I'm not advocating for Kylie Jenner. I don't know her, just like you don't know her, but it is impressive when a young person like that starts their own business and they, you know.
You think it's because of who her daddy was? Because he was so famous back as an Olympian, and then cut his hoo-ha off, and she started fixing makeup for him.
Well, maybe, but, you know, it's
He's still ugly.
Yeah, he's not a pretty woman. No, he is not a pretty woman.
Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah. You know, it's kind of the old adage, kind of use what you got, right? Use what's available to you.
Yeah.
And, you know, if she's got an outlet like that and able to capitalize off of it, you can't really...
Hey, proud for the little young gal.
You know, what they've been able to... You know, what they've been able to do with, like you said, little to no talent and, you know, regardless of how you got there.
Yeah.
To be able to parlay that into, they're all extremely wealthy, extremely famous, and, you know, dumb as a hair.
You got that right. Well, they ain't too dumb. They got rich.
I was going to say they did something, didn't they?
Well, now, when you lay up with all them fancy fellers, you're going to get a little of their money.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
You know, that happens a lot. Women come up with them pretty smiles. I love you. Now I want your money. They turn into gimme pigs. Gimme, 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 gimme. Yeah,
Gimme pigs.
yeah, gimme pigs.
I like it. I like it. Do we feel like we've
I don't want to be near Kardashian.
all right, so we've turned over the Kardashian right well enough.
Yeah, and we ain't cutting nothing off so I can be famous.
You don't think you want to go down that road?
Nope. No, 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 no.
I hear you. All right, so I guess let's move on. The next topic I wanted to get you to really elaborate on, because I know this is really your specialty.
All right.
I know it's something you've done a lot of research into, and I know it's something that is really near and dear to your heart. So, if you could explain to everybody, number one, what AI is and how it works.
That's Alvin Engel.
Okay,
You know him?
I don't, but I hear a lot about AI in the news.
Well, that's another thing. Figured out how he got rich. He got
yeah?
so famous.
Yeah,
Everybody talks about AI. I mean, Alvin Engel.
yeah.
I tried to go see him the other day. Can't ever find him at home now that he's got famous. So.
Well, okay. So, how does AI work? Like, how does it?
Well, he's pretty much always been a put with her. The old-fashioned way, chainsaw and loaded on his shoulder.
Yeah.
He used to be able to cut about 4 cords of wood a day and load it by himself.
Maybe that's how he got famous.
It could be.
Because not a lot of men could do that.
Well, I did, but I didn't get famous.
Well, maybe you didn't.
Maybe I didn't do it long enough.
That could be the problem.
I mean, look at old Paul Bunyan. He cut trees. He got everybody in the world knows him.
Yeah.
But
So let's suppose for a minute that the AI that we're hearing about in the news isn't actually Mr. Engel.
okay,
Are you familiar with the term AI, like what it actually is? I mean, I know you've done a lot of research into it. But
well now when we sit around the coffee shop, everybody knows OEI, AI,
yeah.
whatever his name, AI,
AI.
Alvin, yeah.
Yeah.
Now he got a daughter named AI.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, her name's Alice.
Alice Engel. Okay.
Yeah,
So you think that might be the AI everybody's talking about?
it could be. She's ugly as a mud fence daubed with tadpoles. Bless her heart, but she's sweet.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
She's sweet.
That's what matters really at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
She drives her daddy's pulpwood truck.
What do you think? I hear Elon Musk talking about AI all the time. What do you think his interest is with Alice? Or
Elon Musk.
yeah,
What is Elon?
so
That sounds like one of them things you see on Star Trek.
it is. It's
Elon.
That's exactly what it is. It's
Live long and prosper. I'm an Elon. And he one of President Trump's buddies.
yeah.
That's what I thought.
That's
Well, it can't be too bad.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. But what do you think his interest is with Alvin or Alice Engel?
He might have been the one that hired him to do pulpwooding for him, clear some land.
So is Alvin and Alice, are they still avid pulpwooders? Or?
I ain't seen them in a while. They don't see them much anymore.
Yeah, well, I guess that's what happens when you get famous.
I guess so.
Elon Musk hires you to clear land.
I guess. Well, he must have had a lot of money or something.
Yeah, he's a fairly wealthy guy. Some say that he is the richest man in the world. So, at
Well,
least
see,
in
I
America.
thought I was.
Well,
I ain't got nothing to do with money being rich.
yeah, that's a good point.
I ain't wealthy. I ain't got a lot of money. But I'm rich because I'm happy.
There you go. Well,
And I don't have to put wood more.
all right. Well, I read a story the other day that AI was kind of innovating the medical field, which seems weird. How a pulpwooder and his daughter would innovate the medical field. And again, I know you've done
Yeah.
a ton of research into this. So,
Well, now, I can tell you how they got in the medical business.
okay.
Back a few months ago, old Alvin was cutting a tree and it fell on Alice's head.
Oh, goodness.
Well, out there in the woods, they didn't have much to fix it with. So he done the best he could. He found an old orange skillet and put a plate in her head. And that's something that the medical folks ain't never seen before. a cast iron plate in the head. Now she got a big old knot on the side of her head. Looks like I said, she's ugly as a mud fence, double tadpoles. But the thing about it, you know, bad comes to worst. They gonna zip that head, take that pot out, and fix a pot of turnip greens.
It's got a zipper.
Yeah.
Where did he get the zipper?
Her mama put it in there.
Her mom.
Yeah, 'cause her daddy couldn't sew, so we put a zipper in there. That was the only pot they had.
So they just unzip Alice's head and cook the turkey.
Yep, they have to set her up in the corner where she don't tip over. You don't want them giblets falling out of your head.
So we got.
This ain't supposed to be fun. Have you seen that poor kid's head? No, I know you ain't seen it. She can't even wear a hat. She wear one of them little golf hats that ain't got a lid on top.
So we got to pull this thread a little bit here. So.
All
right. So he innovated. Let me get everything straight here. So Alvin innovated the medical field because he discovered a way that he could put a cast iron pot on Alice's head because she got hit with a tree.
Yeah, he ain't got nobody else to drive a truck for him.
Well, so Alice is still driving the truck with his
yeah.
cast iron pot in her head.
Yeah. And she looks like a bobblehead.
I mean, otherwise, does she function normally? I mean, does it?
It depends on what you call normal.
I have no idea. Like,
well, they had to put a neck brace on her to keep her head from falling side to side, you know. But now when they cook him with a pot, she can set up straight as long as they have to prop her up.
Yeah.
Because her thinker don't work real good anymore.
So she took brain damage then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it messed her up a little bit.
Changed the way she talked.
Oh yeah, she has to do sign language. My wife can talk to her. I can't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Both of them. You put their hands in the pocket, they can't say a word to you.
Oh my goodness! All right, so that's definitely I haven't heard that that's how.
You don't get out much.
Apparently not. Apparently not. So I guess this is kind of obviously it's a big deal if everybody's talking about it.
Well, sure it is. And would it be a big deal if you had an iron pot in your head?
Probably.
All right.
That would be something.
I bet there ain't many out there with them.
No, but you think that's something that's going to start being sort of a common thing, or?
Well, them knothead kids stay out of the way of the trees. It won't be. But you never know about the kids nowadays. They don't know anything about real work.
Yeah.
All they know is them little old things where you play with your thumbs. I mean, kids nowadays got carpal tunnel in the thumbs.
Well, it's. I'm glad you brought that up, actually, because that's going to kind of lead me to my next question that I had for you. And obviously, you've done some research on this.
Oh, yeah. Kids nowadays can't even write.
Yeah.
And can't none of them spell.
Oh, yeah. Well.
I hear they come out with a new dictionary for these stupid kids, educated kids.
So, have you heard any of those? Have you heard any of the new lingo, like the new words that they're kind of coming up with now?
Well, I thought I did, other than that.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, I made my wife mad, and she's throwing stuff at me like I ain't never heard.
I tell you what, why don't we do this? I'm going to pivot here. I wasn't going to go down this road, but you brought it up, so
All right.
How about this? I'm going to say some Gen Z words.
Who?
Yeah, you know, Gen Z. That's the kids that are teenagers now. That, you know, that's, you know,
Gen Z.
You're so like you're a baby boomer, right? That's the generation you're.
Yeah.
So you're in the baby boomer generation.
I got you.
I'm actually sort of on a weird line. Like some places consider me a Gen X. Some people consider me a millennial, based off the year that I was born. And then like my kids' age, that's called Gen Z. So
Gen Z.
Gen Z, like Generation Z.
What come? That's the last ones.
Well, they actually started all back over. So the kids that are sort of in the elementary school now, in that from brand new to about 10 years old, they're considered Gen Alpha. And then the next generation will be Gen Beta. So
Okay, who comes up with this?
I don't know. I just, it's just the thing.
What happened to the 3 R's?
Reading, writing, arithmetic.
Yeah.
The fact that it's called the 3 R's is something that bothers me. Arithmetic does not start with an R.
Well, that's where somebody come up and wanted to put an A on it. That's where it all started messing up. They started changing everything.
Yeah.
Arithmetic. Now, somebody wanted to get famous or get fancy and put an A on it. Arithmetic.
It's probably somebody from Canada.
I wouldn't doubt it a bit. Hey, there you go.
See, we figured it out.
There you go.
All right, so tell you what I'm gonna do.
All right.
I'm gonna tell you some. And full disclosure, I don't talk this way. I don't know a lot of these words. The only reason I know is because I did a little bit of research before I got here. Okay.
All right.
So I'm gonna tell you the word, give you no context, and I want you to use it in a sentence. All right. And tell me what the meaning is. Tell me the definition. So, the first word is Riz.
Who?
Riz.
Riz?
R-I-Z-Z. Riz.
Riz. Well.
First of all, what is Riz?
Riz?
Riz. Can you define the word?
Getting up. This morning, my eyes popped open. I rizzed up out of bed.
That's it. That's exactly what it is.
That's what I mean. Who don't know that?
Okay, perfect. I'm glad you're educating me because I didn't
Say,
know.
I've been trying to teach you for 42 years.
I know it. I know. Well,
I got a young wife. I'm still having to teach her how to drive.
I hear you. Well, that'll happen.
But she can cook.
Okay.
Okay.
You was 140 pounds when I got married, wasn't you?
Every bit of it.
Yeah. On one side.
Every bit of it.
I hear you.
That's just in one boot. Somebody asked me the other day, how long you and your wife been married? I said, well, about 60 years. Just not to each other.
Come on. Oh, Lord. All right, let's move on to the next word. All right. This is a funny one. Skibbity.
Skibbity. Skibbity?
What is skibbity? Can you define that word?
Skibbity.
Skibbity.
Well, when we was kids, we used to go swimming like that.
You go skibbity dipping?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
You jump in the water naked. I done that one time in February. Me and some of my buddies.
Yeah.
I almost walked on water. Now, this is February. I had to squat to pedal spray. I was almost a Bruce Jenner without a knife blade in his jaws.
He was Bruce Jenner before it was cool, huh?
You betcha.
Oh, goodness. All right. So,
But spring thaw came and everything went back to normal.
There you go. All right. Well, again, we'll use that word lightly, normal. Yeah. All right. So skibbity means swimming naked.
Yeah.
All right. Gotcha. All right. We're all learning new stuff today.
Absolutely.
I'm glad we're doing this.
I should have been a teacher.
You think so?
Yeah.
Think you would have been a good teacher?
Absolutely.
What would have made you a good teacher?
'Cause I know stuff.
You've been a teacher?
Well, I used to think so. But I love kids. I don't like them a whole lot.
I hear.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Because they don't want to listen no more.
Yeah, that's true.
They already think they know it. Know everything.
I think we all probably get there at some point. You know what I mean? I think we all grew up thinking we knew more than Mom and Daddy knew, and as we get older, we realize just how.
Well, I actually did.
Yeah.
'Cause Mama knowed everything I knowed. She'd have beat me to death.
I'm glad you brought that up because I kind of want to, I enjoy asking the questions, but I also wanted to. You had an eventful rearing, as they say, right? You grew up pretty.
Yeah,
eventful.
I've had hemorrhoids.
All right.
One time I tried to pick up a log. For 2 days, I walked around like a pink sock hanging down my butt.
Oh my God.
Now, you talking about rearing.
rough.
When you have to go to the bathroom, you go to the creek and just kind of dip it. You don't wipe it.
Oh my God. So I tell you another story you told me before it's always so funny. So you mentioned you were in the military, and I know you got deployed back in early 2000s.
2003.
2003, okay. And part of a deployment, for people that don't know, you have to go through something called MEPS, which is basically the military's processing station. It's where they go through, they do medical exams, they make sure that you're fit to go die in another country. Basically.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
So,
well, I didn't like that part.
So.
No, the Fort Campbell trip. Oh, man, I didn't like that.
Okay, tell us about it.
Well, after you get a certain age, up until you get to be a certain age, they don't mess with the booty. Never thought nothing about it.
Yeah.
Well, this time I done got to that age. I wasn't there yet, but almost. But they told me, you'll be there before your next physical comes up. So you need to get over here in this line, on this side. Well, I got over in that line. I got a little worried. I didn't know what they was aiming to do.
Right.
Well, we got on through there, and they was checking everything, and it's just a big old, huge, like an auditorium, just had sectioned off these little cloth dividers, whatever. I mean, you can hear everything going on in there.
Yeah.
Well, there's a fella in front of me. He was in there. I heard the doctor tell him, just relax. At that time, that fella, whoa, you're going to have to relax. I can't relax. Well, that went on for a few minutes, then it come my turn. Well, he popped that rubber glove on there, and he took that tube of, and I'm going to tell you something. That'll stay with you the rest of the day. You turn around real quick, you'll slide down. I guarantee you. But he said, all right, bend over and spread your cheeks. I went. He said, you know what I mean? I said, I was afraid of that. But I believe when I turned around and bent over that table, he had another fella come in there to do that.
I think so.
I think that fella was wearing a Super Bowl ring. Because when he stuck that finger in there, he hooked it around this way and hooked it around that way, and I don't believe he straightened it when he yanked it out. Ooh.
Well, did you have any cavities?
I don't know what I had. I know I had a butt full of that stuff. And they give you a little old bitty piece of toilet paper to clean that out. You need a beach towel to get that stuff out of there. They ain't no squeaking when you walk. I mean, you walk the rest of the day, you walk smooth. And you don't dare try to break wind. It sounds like a kid blowing a straw in a tub of water.
Oh my God. Oh, Lord have mercy. This has been fun.
It wasn't fun with that finger in there.
I bet it wasn't.
Not a nary a bit.
So, hey, what do you think about first episode here? What do you think? Did you have a good time?
I've had a ball.
Well,
I hope I've educated some folks.
Well, I think you definitely shine the light on some things.
Well, I hope so. That's what I'm here for. Try to teach them younger folks.
So what I want to do before we get out of here, I just want to give you a couple minutes to sort of just say what's on your heart, what's on your mind, and hopefully we're going to have a lot of people that see this. And
maybe they will. I hope they enjoy it. Hope they enjoy watching as much as we enjoy doing it.
That's right. That's right. So if you want to take just a couple minutes, talk directly to everybody, and just sort of...
We want to thank everybody for watching, and subscribe to our podcast, and check back with us. And whatever you do, if you want to achieve true happiness, put Jesus first. And Sunday morning, get up and go to church. If you find Jesus first, you put him first, everything else will fall into place. Love y'all.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Pops Culture. We invite you to like, share, and subscribe to this weekly podcast. Tune in next week for more hilarious stories, commentary on current events, and Pops' hilarious viewpoint on everything pop culture. From all of us here at Pops Culture, put Jesus first, and we hope to see you next time.